in the Monday call, you said that there were 4 players who you thought needed to step up, but didn't have a lot of practice time to be able to do that. How much closer do you think tonight's game got those 4 players?
Well, it's almost impossible to get one game under your belt and make the progress we're going to need to be as efficient in a league like the ACC. But I was pleased with their effort. They showed moments what they were capable of doing. But they just need game experience. We just need to try to see hopefully we can win games while we get in those guys' experience.
Leonard, can you just talk about Balsha getting the opportunity to go out there, get a start, putting up 13, and also blocking a couple shots?
Well, I think you guys gotta back away from being overly concerned about who starts. That's not who we are. That's not the kind of team we have. There might be some games where I might even start different people at halftime, but not starting at the beginning of the game. We don't really know. I'm still trying to find what that right rotation is. I got 4 guys that I'm learning about. We got some guys that have improved, and so I as a coaching staff, we got our work cut out for us. We have to learn how to utilize this new addition of our team. There were times when I went with more of a veteran type lineup, but there were times when I realized that I need to get some of these other guys in there and let them get their feet wet as well. So that's kind of who we are, fellas. But I was pleased that Boston was able to go in and he had his moments where he showed that he's improving along with the other guys. I'm really, that's the theme of our team, and I think that's one thing that's probably somewhat appealing is that those guys have improved, the returning guys. I think you can see that in Evans and Anthony Polite and Raquan Gray and Malik Osmond. I like the progress those guys have made along with Bossa. And that's going to be why I think we can be a pretty good team. MJ is giving us good leadership. He's been around a while. But by no means is the night display where we like to be. But the challenging thing is while we're still growing and developing, we got to try to win our games as well.
Leonard, do you feel a need to get those young guys in because you have such a short early season schedule before we get into the conference play?
No doubt about it, because I don't think we can win with 6 or 7 players. We got to get the full complement of our guys some minutes so we can evaluate them so they can get a feel for what it's like playing at this level. That's just part of who we are and where we are right now, and we got to embrace that, and we got to be on point with trying to be who we want to be while we're trying to there's no doubt that we're still developing, trying to become the team that we think we can become. But right now, we're still an inexperienced team trying to mesh new players into our system, because that's our style, that's our system. And in order for us to be successful, we realize that we still got a ways to go.
How do you kind of instantly evaluate what you saw from Scotty tonight? Obviously, it was a game where he kind of grew into the game a bit offensively after a slow start, but he looks the part of kind of the Swiss Army knife type guy I know you like.
Well, Scotty has potential to really be a very effective for us this year. First game, is somewhat challenging for first year players. And for us, adjusting to the rotation. There were times when I was playing them in 3 or 4 minutes, and it's hard to get a rhythm, in a game when you're doing that for guys who have not been involved in that type of system. So, but it was important that I get those guys on the floor. So, Scotty, I just think that he's going to grow with the more experience he has. He's going to get better and better, and because he has a high IQ. Gives tremendous effort, and there are times when he can affect the game without even scoring. With his defense, his rebounding, his decision making, so we're very pleased with the potential that we saw in him tonight.
how did you feel like the team handled just?
Can you just?
How did you feel like the team handled just a different environment, with the crowd and everything?
I think we showed some inexperience. I thought we showed a little rust. I thought we showed that we had really good potential, but I think you could see that we were not quite as sharp for ball movement. The ball stuck a little bit, not from a selfish standpoint, just guys trying to figure out, how to play with each other.
It seems like your defense was really one of the bright spots tonight. You were able to get some blocks and some steals. Just talk about that for a little bit.
Well, that's always going to be a staple of our system, picking up full court and defending and, trying to do some things differently. Sometimes you play no catch, sometimes you overplay. We picked up 94 feet and we kept trying to keep everybody fresh so we can play with that kind of effort. Defensively, we contested some shots, but I thought we made a lot of miscues too. We overhelped and gave them some threes. That takes a lot of discipline. When they moved the ball, made several passes, then all of a sudden they're driving and we're not disciplined enough to fan out. We were being sucked in and we gave them some wide open threes, and this team is known for shooting threes. And they made us pay every time we made a defensive mistake.
Any more questions for Coach?
Yeah, I got one. I'm sorry, Coach. It was late. I know. Just you mentioned obviously this team has a lot of growing to do because there are so many new faces, but with COVID and the kind of the weird summer, that lack of time to gel, did you expect tonight a little bit too of them still trying to feel each other out?
Well, no doubt that we knew that was the case, and as a coach, we're trying to feel them out. I'm trying to come to grips with, how to best utilize these guys in a game. I'm just as inexperienced with coaching this team as they are inexperienced with playing with each other. And that's the challenge that we have. This team had played 3 or 4 games. We got Indiana coming in here. This might be their 4th or 5th game. I think it might be their 5th game, I believe. I think they played 3 in the tournament. We'll be there 5th game. So all coaches are kind of going through this, where they would have had an opportunity to make a few more adjustments and have a little bit of understanding of how to utilize who they are. So I'm still learning, exactly who do I play in certain situations, because, there were some things that I saw tonight in terms of Jack shows that he's improved where he's shooting the ball. Sadar Calhoun shows that he's capable of scoring some baskets. He's capable of defending. But how do we rotate those guys? How do they fit in the certain situation? Right now is something that, as a head coach, I'm still trying to feel out myself.
Everybody else set with Coach? All right, I'm going to bring in MJ and Raekwon Gray, and they'll be here